Today on the Topping Show, Vivek on World Economic Forum, Anheuser-Busch Stella tweet is alcohol and interest is free, Macy's to lay off 2,350 employees, Wendy's gets a former PepsiCo executive for their new CEO, and beds are being recalled due to the risk of collapse. All of that and much more on the Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice today. I say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January, so if you click that button, I'd really appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Macy's to lay off 2,350 jobs in a mix between both corporate as well as store customer-facing roles. Now this, as the economy becomes more and more precarious, no one knows what's going to happen with the election. A lot of businesses are pulling back on a lot of initiatives, and you have some companies that provide pretty much frivolous luxury goods you don't need, like Macy's. There's nothing you need at a Macy's store. They have some nice things, and I know they do a lot of advertising around cologne, which I suppose some people would purchase. Truth be told, how many years did my cologne bottle last? Maybe 15? Nevertheless, it's mostly luxury items you don't need to survive. Now, it looks like the breakdown between the employees, it looks like the layoffs represent a 3.5% of their total permanent workforce and 13% of its corporate staff. And that is going to be taking place specifically on January 26th. They are also going to be closing 5 stores. Now, they note that the retailer is also investing in improving visual merchandising in stores and upgrading its e-commerce experience. Layoffs come as Macy's president prepares to become the new CEO next month, and the company fights off a $5.8 billion buyout bid from activist investors. So, in terms of the timing of this, it's one of those things where if it had to be done, it was best done now, because the shareholders and most of the public, they're not going to blame the new CEO who hasn't officially started yet. So this is, you could kind of use the previous CEO as a little bit of a scapegoat or tack this onto their coattails to say, well, this is because of this person. You got this new person coming, they're going to revolutionize everything. They'll fix all your problems in theory. But, so there's a little silver lining there. It's also, start of a new year. So there's just a lot of companies that are struggling to begin with. And truth be told, I wonder what their stock is at these days. Granted, stock is always hindsight is always 2020, especially the stocks. That looks like last week went down about 6%. In the past month is down. So again, in case reference point, currently trading for $15.97 per share. Let me see here. Macy's. Wow. Where's that? Let's see here. CEO Jenny founded Campu revenue 24.97 billion in 2019, which is actually pretty darn good. I'll go to Yahoo to get. No, actually no, I misspoke. This current trading price is $17.45 per share. Now in terms of the trend, zooming out, go to the 5. Oh geez Louise, the pop-ups never end. Let's see here. Macy's M. Macy's Inc. 1745. So the past month is down negative 13.87%. Past 6 months it actually went up a little bit by 7.25%. Year to date, granted it's only been a couple weeks, but nevertheless is down 11.369%. In the past 12 months, their stock went down by nearly a quarter at negative 23.4%. Then you go to 5-year trend, it's even worse, that's negative 31.6%. Interestingly enough, it looks like the stock is actually up. Historically speaking, the max is actually still up from the IPO. Looks like the first plot point you see is February 7th, 1992 at $7.81 per share. Let's see here. And so they've grown a little bit. Granted, they're definitely not in the S&P 500, to say the least. And it'll be interesting to see as all these retailers, retail is one of the most complex forms of business these days as e-commerce has taken over the world. And especially for luxury items, y'all, that's usually the first things that people pull back on because, again, you don't need new cologne for Macy's or a new whatever they also sell there, perhaps a new article of clothing. Truth be told, I'm one of those folks I prefer to buy, one or two suits to make them last forever. But nevertheless, that also begs the question: when was the last time you actually went to a Macy's store? And when was the last time there's a compelling reason for you to go there? Or certainly, they have some exclusivity contracts with a couple of designers that might inspire people to go there, or maybe a couple of musician or artists. But I don't know. I can't help but think, what is the compelling reason for people to go to Macy's these days that you can't replicate another competitor or you can't buy somewhere else? So again, definitely not financial advice, but when it comes to the outlook for 2024 at Macy's, I'll be interested to see. You're going to have a new CEO, so granted, hopefully they have some new ideas. They'll be able to reinvigorate the company. But it'll be, let's just say I'm pessimistic to say the least. This will be a good fiscal year for most businesses with so much economic uncertainty, so much inflation. And again, these are luxury items. You don't need anything there. So I would say the outlook for them is precarious to say the least. But yeah, let me know in the comments. When was the last time you actually went to Macy's and what did you buy there? I'm trying to remember. I've been inside of Macy's as a child. Truth be told, I'm trying to think if I ever bought anything. I did buy things from JCPenney as a child. But Macy's? Granted, I'm sure the core demographic is mostly female, and I certainly would think. But again, let me know what you went in there and bought, or if you just did a little window shopping. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January, so click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment and a thumbs up or a thumbs down is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.